I am Mr. Gant. Project Management. Lesson number 38, Primavera, Global Change, In-Depth, Part 2. Objective, student will learn how global change works in P6. Global change functions. There are certain functions that work similarly to Excel that may be used with global change in the parameter value field under Then section and Else section. These functions can be used to populate user-defined fields from other data fields while changing activity descriptions and activity IDs. Now let's see how this functions operates in P6. Day of week function. This selects the weekday number of the date field. Left string function. This selects the number of character from the start or left of the date field. Right string function. This selects the number of character from the end or right of the date field. Substring function. This selects the number of character from a certain position. Next will be our sample exercise. In this example, we will use some of the global change functions to generate and perform a global change, to edit the selected or filtered activity IDs, to include the provided WBS ID. This is a sample schedule that we will be changing the activity ID, a simple schedule with 2 WBS, engineering and construction. The change in the schedule will look like this. To begin, create a user-defined fields by selecting Enterprise, then User-Defined Fields from the toolbar. Select Add from the User-Defined Fields dialog box and create 2 UDFs. Type Activity ID WBS in the title field. Choose text as the data type. Let's select Add again. Type Activity ID prefix in the title field. Choose text as the data type. Now let's focus on our sample schedule. Once the UDFs are created, let's add this as a columns in the activity table. Let's create the following global change. In the if section, find WBS in the parameter, then to engineering. Please keep in mind that this global change will only affect activities allocated to the WBS in the if section of the dialog box, in this case, the engineering. The first line of the then expression in the parameter field, find activity ID prefix, then equals the parameter value substring with activity ID as parameter, put 3 as the position and 4 as the number of characters. This example will populate the UDF named activity ID prefix. Let's see an example here. The activity ID is EC1000. Starting in the third position, it will cut 4 characters of the activity ID, then activity ID prefix will contain only 1000. See how the data are populated in the activity ID prefix column. Same in the second line of the then expression. In this example, we'll populate the UDF named activity ID WBS. Let's see an example here. The WBS is House 1, ENG. Starting in the 9th position, it will cut 3 characters of the WBS, then activity ID WBS will contain only ENG. See how the data are populated in the activity ID WBS column. The final line in the then statement concatenates the 2 UDFs into the activity ID data field. See how the activity ID change in the activity table. Once the global change is created, click Change and review the global change report. If satisfied, click Commit Changes. To practice this exercise, let's take a look in P6. First, let's change the activity IDs under Engineering WBS. Let's choose Enterprise, then User-Defined Fields. Under Activities, click Add. First entry, Activity ID, WBS, with text as data type. Click Add. Type, Activity ID, prefix, with text as data type. Click Close. Add the two created UDFs in a column. Click OK. Click Tools, then Global Change. Let's click New. Ensure Activities is selected. Type a name, change Activity ID. In the If section, find WBS in the parameter. Is field is equals. Under Value, choose Engineering. Click the Then section, then click Add. In the parameter field, choose Activity ID, WBS. Is equals to the substring, change parameter to WBS. Then, the 9th position, to cut 3 characters. Click Add for the second line. In the parameter field, choose Activity ID, prefix. Is equals to the substring, change parameter to Activity ID. Then, the 3rd position to cut 4 characters. Click Add for the 3rd line. Select Activity ID in parameter. Is equals to Activity ID, WBS. Add ampersand in the operator. Activity ID, prefix in the last parameter value. If all good, click Change. Review the Global Change Report. Click Commit Changes. Click No. Close all the forms. As you see, all the datas are populated in the UDFs column and activity IDs changed. Now, let's change activity IDs for construction. Click Tools, then Global Change. Let's find Change Activity ID Name, then Modify. In the If section, change the value to Construction. Check the Then section if the statements is still applicable. If satisfied, click Change. Let's review Global Change Report. Click Commit Changes. Click No. Close all the forms. As you see, all the datas are populated in the UDFs column, and activity IDs changed. This completes our lesson. Thank you very much.